Watch out, Abby. Hey, y'all. I can see people are popping in. Hey, Lisa Payne. What's up? Hey, Q. I can always count on you. Sorry, I'm stirring up some vegan macaroni. Oh my god. Hey, Dark Wolf. What's up? Y'all, I went to the grocery store and I realized that there's a bunch of fucking different fruit. You ever heard of has anybody ever heard of a bumpy orange or a lumpy orange? Anybody? I've never seen these before. I bought some. You ever heard of a moon grape? They're purple and they're about like this long. They're really weird. Moon grapes. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're fucking weird. I'm gonna show you the lumpy orange. Here, watch out. Watch out, dog. Oh, my dogs follow me around and then they just lay in the way. Okay, look. They're called, look, lumpy bumpies. Look at this shit. You ever seen an orange look like this? I mean, is it new? Or have I just never seen it? They're real easy to peel. They're pretty good, but what the fuck? Because people always talk about like new animals and whatever. Parts of the body. I just realized, like, I was standing there like I was in the Twilight Zone with all this new produce. I don't know. Thing's fucking weird looking. Looks like it has blisters on it. Someone gave me a bag of those about a month ago. Lumpy bumpies. Whatever. Yeah, the moon grapes I saw, I don't know, not that long ago. And I was just like, it just hit me while I was in the store, like, what the hell is all this new food? I don't know. Whatever. Look and make sure I'm not psychedelic. Yeah, the moon grapes. They're like this long and they're like dark purple. And they're long. I mean, they're weird looking. They look like a little tiny eggplant. They were pretty good. I mean, I bought a thing of them. And I mean, it just occurred to me to say something because I'm standing there and I'm looking at these. I'm looking at these motherfuckers, whatever these are. And the guy's like, they're really good. And I was like, how long? I said, now these moon grapes over here, I was like, how long have you been seeing those? Like, are these new? And he's like, no, they always have those. And I know they don't. I've never seen that in my life. Whatever, that kind of stuff makes me mad. Makes me mad. He caught Sicily in Australia. Maybe, what do you mean, like? No, it's pretty good. I know they look diseased. Whatever. No, they are good. I ate one today. I'm telling you what. It just seemed like no matter what I did today, like people were just evil to me all day. He traced them months ago and now, oh, okay, so he does that thing where he traces it. Who else does that? I think Brian McFarlane does that. Welcome to the Midnight Madness. It's 11 o'clock here for me. It's not midnight, but... Who's your boyfriend? Brian McFarlane? He is kind of... He seems like he would be a nice boyfriend. He seems like the kind of guy that would... yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that would just like bring you flowers just because or something. Very sweet. He's a doll. He's not my type, but he's alright. He seems like a nice guy. I like guys that are like tall and like lanky. They look Italian. Like my husband. He's so cute. I don't know. So how's everybody's week been? Brian's the only person that everything... Yeah, I know. Well, he's just, you know, there's just some people, they watch a lot of, you know, popular culture. And when you do that, you're going to see it. You're going to see all kinds of junk, you know? Like with me, like I turned that television off a long time ago. I'll live stream some shows or whatever, you know, just stream it, but I'm not sitting there watching television. I don't have cable. So, I mean, I basically just read a lot and I don't know. I have a lot of personal, for me, I have more personal Mandela effects than I do popular culture ones. Rain on the plains. How you doing? I wonder if I'm going to go psychedelic now that you're here. Just kidding. I haven't even washed my face from work. I still have like makeup running down my face. Ugh. Yeah, me too. I watch him online. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's still like, oh my God. You were wondering what? Oh, let me ask you this, Rain. Have you ever seen an orange that looks like this before? Since you just got here. They're called lumpy bumpies. I've never seen it before. Yeah, I think they're new. And you know, I saw these other things called moon grapes, and they were like really long and weird looking. And I was standing there just like staring at these oranges, and the guy was like, "They're really good." He's like, "Don't." He's like, "Don't judge them by their appearance." Yeah, and they were in a bag, and the bag says "lumpy bumpy." And I was just like, and I looked over at the moon grapes, and I was like, so are those new? Is that like a new variety? And he's like, no, they have those every year. And I'm thinking to myself, no, they don't, buddy. I've never seen those before. Whatever. Because I bought them like a couple weeks back and ate some. I thought they were like a new variety, or they got, I don't know, like some from a country I've just never seen before. It's getting weirder all the time. And like today, whoo, I mean, I just had the weirdest people all day. People were just like angry and just acting irrational all day long around me. Like customers just calling in and asking the most irrational, just strange questions. Just, I don't know. The weirdos were out today, that's for sure. Oh, with these things? I don't know. Or the people. Maybe the people are, I think the people are genetically modified. I was saying, I don't know when it was, but I was saying something like, a lot of us, like, a lot of people who are affected, like, have allergies. And I wonder if we're just allergic to these changes. Like, it's something chemical. I don't know. Maybe it's in the chemtrails. I don't know. I saw MA's stream. I watched it after the fact because, he's always streaming when I'm working. And he was getting into that animal book. Everybody's got their little thing. And Korrie Jade, like this morning, was saying stuff like, like they're talking about the guy on Facebook, like going in front of the court. And she was like, I remember that happening like a couple weeks ago. It's almost like there's like time rewinds. And then JW, I was watching he made just like a short video, and he was saying that, he got into his car and turned on his lights and saw something strange. Then all of a sudden he was getting into his car, turning on his lights, like time was just like repeating. I've been feeling like a lot of deja vu lately, but I don't know. I don't see things repeating like that, though. I'm doing research. Be right back. Yeah, the alien demons. And see, I think it's interesting. People are starting to have all these dreams like that there's going to be an alien invasion. I told you. It's going to be fake alien invasion. Yeah, and I noticed that too. Like some days, I notice like when I'm getting ready for work, like the time just creeps by. It's so slow. And I have tons of time. And then on some days, I look up and 20 minutes have passed and I haven't hardly, And I'm a very like routine driven person. Like I have to do the same things. Like if my routine's interrupted in the morning, I get kind of shitty about it. Like I don't. Oh yeah. I don't believe in aliens. I think they're stupid. I think that's a stupid concept. That's a lie. All you have to do is, look up Aleister Crowley and look up a picture of a demon that he drew, and it's an alien. Give me a break. And then my husband's experience with them. I don't know. And then I see all these people online, all these spiritual people like, oh, the Palladians are coming and they're our real creators and we're a merge of all these different alien races. That's a lie. I don't believe that. I won't believe it. I don't care what kind of proof I am, supposedly shown. I'm not going to ever believe that. Yeah, they just do anything and everything just to get your soul. That's what people don't understand too, like MA was talking about manifesting. You can manifest things. I do it, but I'm not trying to manifest money. I'm not trying to manifest things that are like of this world, really. Like today, my boss was just going off and screaming. And, I was just sitting there like praying to God, like, please just lay it on his heart to just calm down. And he did. And the day got a bit better. To me, I guess people say manifesting, but I just pray for it. I'm not really trying to create it myself. I just pray about it. And then, I get answered. I don't consider it like true manifesting. Yeah. Wait, manifesting different than law of attraction? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's the same thing. It's the same concept, but yeah, I mean, I think that because we share genetics with God, that we can do those things. But the question is, should you? It's like a fat woman in a tight dress. Just because they make it in your size doesn't mean you should wear it. I saw that today too. It was horrifying. Every lump and bump, and it was white. Mm. Some of these people, I don't get it. I mean, it's just like, really? But yeah, a lot of people, they don't understand. Like when you sit there and start trying to, you know, manifest things like they're of this world, and, you get all caught up in money or fame and all that. I mean, you've made a contract and you've sold out, you know? It's just not worth it in the end. Because you can be pretty, I mean, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I have my basic needs met. I can take care of my kids pretty well. Yeah, that's the thing. Like say you just go out and randomly just sleep with some guy, like a stranger. I mean, really, you've kind of, made like this unsaid contract with a demon who gave you the strength and power to do that. And for that moment, you feel powerful, you know? But then after you realize, it's like you subconsciously realize what you've done. Yeah, all those soul ties and stuff. There's been an exchange of power there. Or even like when you publicly like humiliate someone, you've allowed something to come into you to perform that act. Or like when you're just cruel to people, or and it gives you that little pop of power. It's not good, you know? And I was talking to a friend of mine on YouTube earlier, and I was just like, when I get a setback, I rejoice in that setback because then I know I'm doing something right. Because Satan only attacks you when you're on the right path. Setbacks and problems, don't get depressed about them. Just feel like, thank God. That means I'm doing right. I mean, it's not God doing it to you. It's Satan. Oh yeah. I mean, eventually I feel like he'll just give up. Maybe. I mean, he sits there and studies you, sees what gets to you. I mean, just like today, whew, just the most annoying people. It says the earliest mention I can find of the lumpy bumpy is 2011. Maybe it's some kind of off-breed. I've just never seen it before. It's just so strange. Lumpy bumpy. It's very weird looking. I know, and see, like I eat loads of fruit. They only grow in February and April. And see, I'm in the South. I'm in Mississippi. So, I mean, I'm right next to Florida. If there's like here, like in Louisiana, they grow satsumas, and those only grow like a certain, I think that season's already over. But I just feel like I would have seen it before because I lived in the South. Oh, they come out of, I mean, but still, Southern California. It's based on a sumo orange. I might have to look at that one because I've never seen that. I don't know. Hey, Jamie, what's up? See, and that's the thing. I mean, you discover this stuff, and I mean, you can look it up, and it'll tell you, oh, this is when it happened, or It's like the mandanimals. I mean, it could have always been there. Well, like, like when I was watching MA's thing earlier, he was talking about Arctic foxes. I've always known about those. But I mean, that just could be just for me. Maybe there are people that have not never heard of them. Maybe they came from some other reality that that person's not from. That layer. But I can always remember them. I was really into animals when I was a little kid. Master researcher. Oh, what? Yeah. He's the master researcher. Yeah, maybe some people have just never seen them, but and like he was talking about narwhals or whatever. I remember those as a kid. See, that's funny. Right on the plane said narwhals, like right when I did. Yeah, I was really into marine animals when I was a little kid. I was just really fascinated with them. And I had like a chart of like different like dolphin species and whales and stuff just like, on my walls. Like those were my posters. So, and I remember it being on there. I used to think that was so weird. I never saw them on TV or anything, but it was on that little chart in my room when I was a kid. When I was little, I used to sit there. We had world books. My parents, could afford them. They were very expensive from what I understand, but I used to lay in front of that bookshelf and read those books. I loved them. I mean, I would sit there for hours looking through those things. Encyclopedias. Starbucks has a drink called the Narwhal. Fantasy creatures. Yeah, that's the thing. I think for a lot of people, they are fantasy creatures. Man, I used to love world books. Yep, that was our internet. Kind of shows you our age, unfortunately. Y'all, when I was a kid and they first started having computers in schools, they were like black and green screens. And like my first computer was a Commodore 64. Does anybody remember this? I used to sit there and program it for like half an hour to hear it howl like a wolf or something. Hey, Andrew Eaton. Getting the number synchronicities again. For me, it's 33. I just keep getting it. Like my daughter had texted me earlier, asking they want to stay home tomorrow and have a girl day. So I'm going to let them stay home. Screw it. And so she was like, did you ask Dad? What did he say? And when I looked at the message, it was 33 minutes ago. Monochrome Apple II. Rain's like, yes, Commodore 64. Oh, Lisa, yeah. I think it means there's something's coming. Because, 33 is one of those numbers you look for deceptions. 1, 2, 3, 4 is my sync number. QP. We need to look all these numbers up. Because I know that 1111 is like, supposed to be like an angelic number. It's supposed to mean like, it's like a prophecy number or something like that. Or like angels are trying to communicate with you. Hey. See, 33 is the age Jesus supposedly was when he died. And then, a third of the angels fell from heaven. So it's like, 33%. And so it's kind of like a mockery to the crucifixion. So. But like, right when you start, it's funny because like people who experience this, you see, most of us see it all, like we know the news is bullshit. We know that, everything is scripted. Lynn's V's 33 and her birthday's 11/22. Hey, Lynn's V. See, I get 33s everywhere. That's one of those things I was taught. Oh yeah, my husband's bad about it. Like he uses numbers for all kinds of stuff. 11:33 a.m. and it's 55 degrees out. It's cuckoo nuts. I don't know, this last shift, I mean, things are ramping up. Like, people are just going, like, the NPCs have run wild out there. I mean, I got people cutting me off all the time. I mean, but I'll slow down. I'll let them. So what? But, just like the nutso people just like really, I don't know. I've just had contact with a lot of screwed up individuals. Lens V says, I'll be driving and looking at the road and the mileage will change. Or the song number in my brain will see the number and make me look. Like 11133. Yeah, like synchronicities or something. It's really strange. 88, 88. I don't know. Yeah, I had a lot of double numbers like in prices today. 8 is great. I don't know, 7's always been my number. That's my favorite number. I don't know, y'all. I'm just tired. I'm so glad I have an off day tomorrow. Thank God. I think he might try to call me, and I'm leaving my cell phone at home. Lynn's, your favorite number is 22. I wish I was still 22. That bounce back skin. Whew. 13 is your birth number. I don't know what my birth number is. I know I was born December 22nd and I got married when I was 22. I thought it was like a special year or something when I got married. So I don't know. Y'all know what's wrong with this place. Oh, Lynn's. It was wrinkly crow's feet that Mandela hit and they disappeared. Your anniversary is the 22nd. Oh, God. It just never ends. My anniversary is actually like on July 25th. A lot of people have that for wedding anniversaries for some reason. I noticed that because I sell jewelry. A lot of people come in looking, telling me that's their wedding date, or I don't know why that's a popular date. It just is. This year will be 20 years. 20 years of bliss. 20 years of a hell of a lot of compromise. Marriage is not easy. And I always say a lot of nice things about my husband, so people are like, oh, I thought y'all were perfect. No, nobody's ever perfect. I've been through a lot of hell and a lot of good times. You just have to decide you're gonna, unless somebody's being abusive, that's different. I don't think God wants you to stay in that, but oh yeah. We've been through infidelity, not on my part, but like infidelity, prison, that kind of stuff. Like just all kinds of crazy shit, having kids. Went through Katrina, all that stuff. Scott Baylo, you and the chimp videos. That's so funny that you like that, because my husband loves that stuff and we get him like monkey cards. all the time. Anytime it's his birthday, we get like a funny monkey card because he just loves them so much. He'll just sit there and watch those crazy monkey videos. Dark Wolf said he only made it a year on paper. It's just there's something about them. They're just so cute, especially like the great apes, like chimpanzees and gorillas and stuff. They're they're just so similar to us, like the way they interact with each other. You can tell they really have a like a large mental life. I don't know. I think all animals do. I don't know. Just like my dogs have like really big personalities and they're so sweet. They do the funniest things. They understand me. They, bother to learn my language. Like my youngest one, Abby, she's just says, Scott, you're gonna hate me. I seriously love animals and have always had a cat. I have a dog, but I hate monkeys. I think they're yucky. They fling poo. I think orangutans are the cutest ones. One time, I'll tell you a story about monkeys. One time we went to the zoo, the Jackson Zoo, and it was kind of like not the best zoo. They still have like some animals just in straight up cages. And like they don't have habitats for all the animals. That's okay, Rain. I know, but like with our kids were little, my husband, sometimes he'd be like, let's go to the zoo. So we're standing there in front of this spider monkey, and I looked and I thought something, like it was pooing or something. There was something coming down. And I was like, oh God, what is that? And it was the thing's balls. I mean, they were like this long. And it was like pulling on them and looking at us. I was like, we gotta go. So gross. The kids were like, look at his balls. Yeah, it's gross and like sad. When I was a little kid, I won an art contest and I got to name a tiger at the zoo. And I named it Kimbo, and I'm not sure why. Not sure why I did that. And so do Satanists. Satanists eat each other's poop. How you like that, Scott Baylo? I don't know why I named it that. But it was a tiger just in a cage. It was just straight up in a cage. It was not, didn't have a habitat or anything. What a crappy conversation. Sorry, Dark Wolf. You could always do a Google Hangout and invite me on. It's very punny. I know, I'm just joking. I was just picking on you. Dude, y'all, my appetite is like shit. I can hardly eat. I feel like a nervous animal. Just ever since, I don't know, ever since a few days ago, I just feel like I was so nervous today. Right here, I was like biting my bottom lip all day long. I marked it up. I think when I get depressed, I end up eating a lot, but with all my allergies and stuff, I guess like transitioning into, being a vegan, I just can't eat hardly. I don't know, people, my husband used to work at a mental hospital and they do it there too. They rub it on the walls and write in it. And when I was in prison, people used to do that for revenge. Like if you told a guard something somebody was doing, like they were, running drugs or doing whatever, they would shit and like rub it in your face while you're sleeping. I mean, I guess it might be it's like a control thing. I used to see that happen a lot when I was in the pokey. I just stayed on my top bunk and read books. And then when I got to a work facility, I just crocheted all the time. Yeah, oh yeah, like when you're in places like that, institutions or prisons or different places like that, you really see, or boarding school, I've been in a boarding school too. You cannot hide who you are, and so you see people for who they really are. And then you get to see a good cross section of humanity. Rain, what were you in for, if you don't mind me asking? I was a loss prevention agent for Belk department stores. And my best friend stole $630 out of a register. We've been friends for like 2 years, and she was a single mom. She had really young kids. And when I realized that there was a loss, I reviewed the footage and saw it was her. And I just called her up and I was like, look, you have to quit. You can't come back. You just have to be a no call, no show. Just don't come back. And then I erased everything. And I went into the system and got rid of everything. And she talked about what I did, like what a good friend I was, and it got back to her sister, who was a dispatcher at the local police department. She told a detective contacted the store, they got a computer specialist in there, and they saw where I had gone into the DOS system and modified it. And they didn't have any camera footage because I erased it, and then she testified against me at trial. So I got 10 years in prison and she got 5 years probation. No, it's not. I mean, I did the wrong thing. I should have turned her in. That was the just thing to do, but I made a bad snap decision. Yeah, I had a jury trial. And so then they gave me the max sentence because I did that, because I wouldn't admit anything. I mean, because I felt like you're innocent until proven guilty. I just wouldn't. Yeah, it's a backward system. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. I was worried about her, but I didn't think about my own kids, you know? And, like when I did that, like, my husband did that time with me. I mean, he was alone out here taking care of our kids, keeping up our mortgage all by himself. He didn't let any of my credit cards go into default. Like I mean, they struggled bad. They had to be on like food stamp assistance. It was bad. When I came home, there was like nothing hardly in the fridge. Like they were pretty bad off. So, I mean, those times are just, I would never, I mean, now I really consider any action I take. I don't let myself be impulsive anymore, ever. And I was a very impulsive person. Always have been. It's like one of my greatest downfalls. It was bad. When I first saw my youngest daughter, we had, she couldn't see me for a long time, like 6 months. And I got to that work facility, like at the big prison, I didn't want them coming because, they make your kids sit on an x-ray machine to make sure that you're not like trying to smuggle drugs up their vaginas, basically, or in their diapers or anything like that. And so I didn't want them to go through that. And they search they like kind of search your kids. I didn't want to put them through that. So when I got to a work facility, that was the first time I saw her, and she put her hands on my face and she was like, I forgot your eyes were green. And that was just like, I think about that a lot. Just the feeling in that moment. And then she looked so much older, just how much time I missed. When I was first in there, my husband he thought I was going to do 10 years. I mean, that was what I was sentenced to. He thought, And I mean, I was telling him just move on with your life, and he's like, I can't, you know. But like in Mississippi, you only do 25% of your time, so I spent 2.5 years in. And when I got out, I was like 15 months on house arrest. So he stuck by me though. He put money on my books and came and visited me like all the time, and it was rough though, boy. But that's the thing, if you really talk to a lot of Mandela affected people, a lot of us have been in prison. And I tell you this, I mean, when Jesus came to this earth, I mean, he was a wanderer. He lived off the kindness of strangers. Like he could have been like living in a palace, but he didn't live that way, you know? And I think the fact that, you know, we've had hardships and things like that is another thing that connects us. I mean, a lot of us have lost it all, or, I mean, like I went through Katrina and lost everything. I mean, I went through that prison experience. I mean, like when I was 18, I moved out and had nothing. I just had my car, basically. I lived, you know, I was homeless for a while. So, I mean, a lot of us go through these really horrible hardships. But I think it's like, I think we have to walk the same path Christ did. I think his life is like a literal blueprint. It's like you have to kind of see beyond it, you know, just like the persecution and, um, you know, the coming back. And I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, you know, are we dying over and over again and just like slipping into another dimension? I just don't know anymore. I go back and forth on what I think. Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he stuck by me no matter what. But I mean, you know, when he proposed to me, it's because he saw Jesus Christ himself, who told him if he didn't marry me, I would die. And he said to him, "Don't leave my lamb for slaughter." And I remember when my husband told me that. I mean, it was just really an emotional thing. I mean, I knew he wasn't full of shit. I believed him. So I finally agreed. So, such a crazy life. That's right. Jesus hung out with the criminals. Yeah, you can. You can consider your childhood a prison sentence, especially if it was not good. I mean, mine was not good either. I think a lot of us had horrible childhoods. And so, some may not have, but I think the majority. And that's the thing, because my opinion, it could be a simulation. I mean, Rain's like, it could be a simulation, and I think that a lot too. I mean, I've got like several theories I'm running with. I'm just not sure. I don't know if I got. No, I'm sure there are people that have been through worse than me. Scott Baylo was like, I didn't have an easy, but you got to speed. I don't think so. You know. See, Lynn's is saying my husband and his family led me to learn who Jesus was, and really that's for me too, because I wasn't raised in a good kind of way. And then, I mean, he asked me, he was like, "Will you please convert? It really means a lot to my family." And so I did it, and that was the beginning of it, you know. I'll tell you, when I stood, I mean, even though I think churches are like evil systems, the guy who, when I converted, the priest that I went to was this old Irish priest, and he was a very sweet man. He lived like just a very meager life. Um, you know, he wasn't one of those priests who was all, thought he knew everything. He was a very sweet, gentle man. Like you could really tell he really believed in God, you know. And when he baptized me, that was just the best feeling. I mean, but that's, just that's my experience, you know. I'm not saying it has to be like that for everybody, but I mean, it's crazy. Kathy Nilo has a hard to listen to story. Really? Lindsay, my parents believed in money and wine. Yeah, Lindsay, my mom was like a New Orleans, so well, she's from the South, so she's really like a Southern socialite. But you know, I was raised in New Orleans, so she was a New Orleans socialite. I mean, she was a narcissist bad. I mean, I love her, but she's still my mom at the end of the day. Yeah, my dad was an attorney, and I mean, they were not worried about us. I can remember being like 10 years old, and they would like leave for the weekend and just leave us. They didn't care, you know, care what happened to us. Dark Wolf said I converted to a Mormon for my ex-wife. Jamie said he had to start again with nothing at 55. See, it happens to a lot of us. I mean, a lot of us have lost it all and then had to start over more than once in a lot of cases. Andrew worries about the itch on his leg. Well, why is your leg itching? Let's see. Were you raised Catholic, Andrew? Were you a cradle Catholic? I don't know. I keep thinking it's got to happen soon. I don't know, y'all. This could go on indefinitely. Cool. See you, Dark Wolf. He's got to check in for work. I don't know. Maybe we are almost there. Maybe not. Scott says he lost everything a few years ago, but his girl stuck by me. She should have left a few times. That's what I'm saying. If you can find somebody in this life that's willing to ride it out with you, stick with them. It's hard to find somebody like that because most people are just like really deceptive, I think. You know? And it's, you know, another thing I notice about like people who experience these changes and stuff, all of us are like hyper empathetic, and we always tend to be like overly forgiving or, you know, just done wrong a lot. You know, we just pick up and keep going though. It's like that woman that got body slammed. Did you see the old lady that got body slammed by the teenagers at the pool party? I mean, she just had surgeries and stuff, and the teenager was up there, you know, and the judge was being really hard on him, and the woman was standing there looking at him saying, "You have your whole life ahead of you." I mean, he sat there and hurt her, and she's one of us, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Lynn's saying, I had a pair of narcissist codependent latchkey kids for sure. Yeah. More like an aunt and uncle type. Mine were there. They were just very authoritative, and they believed we were going to do what they said. So. Andrew said it may be another 1,000 years, but what's that to Eternals? Oh, you better not let her go without a fight, Scott Baylo. That's your girl. You gotta be there for your girl. I'll tell you this, Joe and I have been together a long time, and he just does little things like sometimes he'll, you know, just get me something and be like, you know, this made me think of you, or just like having a little consideration. You know, like he sits there and works all night. He's exhausted, and you know, we're trying to get this house ready so that we can be ready to move, and you know, so somebody can get a loan on it. If it's got rotten wood, nobody can get a loan. So he's been replacing all that. I mean, he's been staying up all day, taking a nap, then going off to work, working all overnight, all night long. But he's doing it for me because he knows that I believe that we're supposed to be on that property, that we've got to be there. I just feel like really strong drive. We got to get that. We got to get there. We need Fight Club. I never saw that movie. I just never saw it. What can you do? Hey, it would be like bum fights. I let him beat the shit out of me like for $5. See, Scott Baylo was like, I'd forfeit ahead of time. He didn't want to do that. Yeah, I just at the time when it came out, I wasn't interested. I was like, just never saw it. I'm telling you, like, sometimes, like one time I got a perfume sample in the mail and I wore it, I used it all over several days and I really liked it. And one day I just came home and there it was. Or, like the other day I came home and I grow roses in our backyard and he'd pick some roses and just put them on the kitchen windowsill. I mean, that kind of thing. Just being sweet. It's a chick flick. I don't think Fight Club's a chick flick. I think that's a guy thing. Although, I like shows like Game of Thrones. I do watch that. I like one of my favorite shows that I stream is what was it called? It was like about a compound. I don't know. It was on Netflix. I can't remember it. Yeah, he's a sweet guy. Girl, I can imagine Joe working 3 jobs. Holy crap. When do you ever see him? Whew. Travelers. Oh, okay, I'll watch it. Let me write it down or I'll forget. It's always got so much going on. Travelers. Oh, The Path. I really liked that one because there's something about it that like resonates with me. I don't know. It's really strange. It was a good show though. Lynn's, I didn't know you had a farm. This works on our farm for 2 of them. Damn, he puts solar panels in. Scott Baylo. I don't want to work 1. Fuck 3. It's a show. I think it was on Netflix, and I think there's about 3 seasons of it. But yeah, I watched. It was pretty good. It was about like a commune, and it was like about this guy who saw like some kind of light ladder, and they believed in like a world like beyond this. It's almost like a new Earth type deal, but it's pretty interesting, and people think they're a cult and stuff like that. But it was a good show. And blueberries. Where do you live, Linz? Y'all grow blueberries. Kids are expensive, but see, because we have 6 acres in Poplarville, Mississippi, and that's the blueberry capital of the world. Washington State. They grow hella blueberries in Mississippi. Yay, just like us, Scott Baylo. And see, I'm going to have the land. Let's all be a cult. I wish my husband would get on here because if if y'all ever get a chance to come down and visit and meet him, whew, I mean, he sees some stuff. I mean, he could probably be a cult leader. He just doesn't like people. He feels like people drain him too bad. He can't stand being around people very much. Poor guy. You'll bring the Kool-Aid. I hate it when like corporate entities use that as like, you've joined our world, they'll say, you know, I drank the Kool-Aid. Like corporate speak. That's what that reminds me of. Oh, my husband. Oh, yeah. He is. Yeah. I think they use it. I think they use the bugs for the coloring. I don't know though. I know it's got gelatin is like made out of like animal bones or something. It's like some part of an animal. But you can get like you know how collagen's also made out of like animal bones, and I take collagen, but I take like marine collagen. Yeah, like something. It's something. It's something gross. I'm not really sure what it is. But yeah, I try to get you can get gelatin that's made out of like seaweed though. Synergy and all that bullshit. Oh yeah. They know that we have a power between us, Rain. I think if me and Rain got together in real life, like we could probably like make things appear out of nowhere. I think so. She's probably one of my kinfolk. I made this macaroni and it's just sitting here like I can't bring myself to eat it. I just feel so ugh. I know. I was telling Patrick a while back we need to have like a Mandela conference at you know, I know they're having one in Washington State. That's too far away for me anyway. Like we do one in New Orleans where we all meet in New Orleans during the summer because the hotels are cheap. It's hot as hell, but it's fun. I know, I feel like that too, and it's so strange. That's so weird. Yeah, if you look on Vanessa VA's channel, she's organizing some kind of like conference. I know, I love New Orleans. I can't live there anymore, but it's not conducive to raising children. We moved out of there, you know, when we had kids. I mean, I was a bartender in the quarter and all that stuff from like 18 to about 25. Reno? Oh God, if I brought Joe, he would just like be glued to the slot machines. He loves gambling. He loves those machines. We went to a casino for our honeymoon, and I mean, I nearly had to drag him out of there. Oh, I would like to meet Unimundi though. Yeah, I think we found our stream. You know, I think like the creator is the source. It's like water. You know, I, this is something I heard from this self help person. Her name is Teal Swan. I just like she's just really like out there and honest. And her and I went through some similar experiences as kids, like so I can kind of relate to what she went through. And so, but that's what she says. She says she thinks like the creator's like it's like water, you know, and she thinks you know water separates and it goes into like rivers, and you'll find people that are in your same stream. That's what I think we are. We're all kind of like soulmates, like twin flames or something. I always hit those machines. My husband will lose some money. Ooh, baby. I like to play blackjack. I'm good at it. I'll play the $5 tables and I always win. Always. It's got the best odds in the casino. But we don't go very often because he just he can't stop. Yeah, I love Unimundi. I see. I'm not good at poker, but I'm good at blackjack. There's a good punk band in Reno called Seven Sec. I'll tell you what, Scott Baylo. Back in the day, I used to go to punk concerts. I used to have like when I was younger, I used to like shave like half my head. I would have pink hair, especially when I was a bartender. Sometimes I would do like little beeswax dreadlocks. That was in the 90s, like dresses with combat boots, and I used to get in those pits, boy, and mosh around, and we'd punch each other in the face. I was such an angry person when I was young. Let's see. Yeah, like there was something like MA. I mean, I always kind of liked him. I thought he was like a real smart guy, but there's something about Scott, man. There's something about Scott Harrison. Like, I feel so. And my husband would be like, why are you watching this guy? Like, when he would just kind of stand there in his Kit Kat shirt, I'd be like, I don't know. There's just something about him that I just can't. Like, I feel connected to this guy somehow. Oh, man, I've seen like Mr. Bungle. Scott's like, what bands? Mr. Bungle, like Rage Against the Machine. I went to like all the Lollapaloozas like from 91. That I went to one in Texas in 91. Like 92, I think all the way through 95 was the last one I went to. Jane's Addiction, all that stuff. I was into all that when I was younger. Doing all kinds of hallucinogens. I do love Scott Harrison. Yeah, he kind of he had said something, and I reached out to him, um and I don't know. I mean, he used to try to like communicate with me a little bit, but I don't know. I think he forgets I'm here. That's okay. I don't know. Some of the 90s music, my husband's stuck in it. I listen to high quality classical music now. And yeah, I like the 80s new wave stuff. I love that stuff. Like when MTV first came out, all that stuff. I love that. But I still, I still listen to like, Smashing Pumpkins and all that sometimes. I have to run it through this program that makes it the right frequency though. Some stuff I can't listen to anymore, and then some things I listen to it and it just sounds off and it just makes me upset because I know it's something's different about it and I can't put my finger on it. So a lot of music I just can't listen to. The same way about TV, like I cannot rewatch old shows because they just look off and it upsets me. So I just stay away from it. Oh, his accent, yeah. Well, you get used to it, too. Yeah, he was hard to understand. Like his accent was very thick. I have every Smashing Pumpkins album. I mean, like I have them all. Like if you ever want one, I'll send you a copy of it. Yeah, I always liked British accents. I can't do one, but I always thought they sounded like so intelligent, like proper English and all that. But like the Cockney accents are really. Yeah, I mean, but I've seen him change several times. I mean, a lot. He's changed a lot. I mean, like really, and a lot of his videos, he says they're all up, but a lot of his videos are gone. I mean, because there's a lot of them, like I sit there and search for them and I can't find them anymore. There's a lot of stuff that he's done in the past that's just not there anymore. I mean, because he used to put out nearly daily videos, and I mean, you don't see that. And I thought to myself, maybe he's deleted them, but I don't think so. I think they're just gone. They're just not. They're just not from this time. This layer or timeline or whatever you want to say about it. Something about him. But he's one of those people that just sees it, you know? And he's just very obsessed with it. See, I don't think he deletes them either. They're gone. You know, or I'll watch, like a long time ago, I would watch things and I'd be like, he already put this out. He just put this out a week ago, but it says he just uploaded it today. You know, he's one of those ones for me that I noticed. Another one is money bags. We will see him do something and I'm like, this is bullshit. He put this out like a year ago, and we'll search for it and it never happened. Like, I can hardly watch Moneybags anymore because of that, because I keep seeing him repeat stuff and I just can't. I don't know. And it's not that he's really repeating things, it's just that the layers keep coming away. Yeah. And I mean, Brian McFarlane's another one. And his name has changed for me too. So is Mandela. I mean, Mandela Effect, it was M.E. When I first started watching him, it wasn't M.A. And I was like, and I remember when my husband and I noticed it, and I was like, what? And I was like, but look, his little logo is still the same. And he's like, you know, yeah, Scarab too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, his changed a lot. See, I'll watch MA's kids channels every once in a while. I don't sit there and rewatch those, but I mean, because I watch them because it reminds me of my kids being little, and they're so sweet and giggly and innocent. They remind me of my daughters. So, oh yeah, Rain is saying videos show up that you knew weren't there before. Oh yeah, like stuff, and you're like, I know that I religiously watch this person. Like, there's some that I would sit there and like log on every day and check I would make the rounds to the people that I watched. So yeah, that's why I don't even know what his name is anymore. But it just seems like the closer people are to these changes, the more they change. One time I sent MA this video and I was like, he was talking about how his dad was different. And then I went and saw my mom, and I felt like my parents became strangers because he made me aware that that was possible. And I think that that does happen. And he was telling me, like, if you think really hard, you'll remember what happened. And he never would reveal what that was. And it kind of pissed me off for a while. So, I feel like if you think that I'm affected, if you really believe, that I'm like you, then why would you keep something from me? I'm a pretty strong person. I've been through a lot of shit in my life. I can handle anything. And I've already had my breakdown over all this. I mean, and it, have gotten over it. But I feel like, maybe if we all knew everything, it would speed all this along somehow. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got some new ones there that I know I've never seen. Rains. See, and for a while, I thought it was like rain on the plane. It might have been plain. See, but that's not a clear memory, so I don't know. Death? Maybe that's what it is. Okay, yeah, the castles videos, yeah. It's death. I don't know. I have a lot of dreams about death and dying, but I mean, there's a lot of different ones, though. I mean, do you think we're dying over and over and over again? I don't know. But it's like, if that's what it is, just let me know. You know, don't make it a mystery for me. You know, I mean, what's the point in doing this? Like what we're doing? I mean, it's to get each other's insight. It's to see what everybody knows. You know what I mean? I mean, because sometimes hearing other people's perspectives can bring you to one of your own. You know, bring you to like a stronger truth. Yeah. I think there's got to be a point to it. It's got to be. I mean, I think a lot about Philip K. Dick, you know, saying that he felt like, you know, we lived the same life over and over again. Maybe. Maybe we've been living through the centuries and reincarnation's real, except there's no real death, like we just keep warping from one to another. That's what a lot of us have in common, death. Yeah. And that's another thing, like, you know, I used to ask people all the time, have you ever had a traumatic brain injury or like a head injury? And a lot of us have had that. I mean, I know I've been in a couple car wrecks. And see, like, when I was 14, I took an overdose of my dad's pills. I mean, I woke up like to them pumping my stomach, and then I woke up like strapped down to a table at a mental hospital, you know. So, and then like when I was 7, they found me in my closet. I had hung myself with a belt. I don't remember that one though. What do you mean, just like Ray? Rain, you hung yourself with a belt when you were a kid? Or the mental hospital thing? Wait, which one was it? Dude, you're fucking with me, right? I'm about to cry right now. You took a bunch of pills when you were 13? Ugh. I'm sorry, it's made me upset. Oh my God, it's made me really upset. I'm sorry. That's bad. I'm sorry, Rain. I know what it's like. It's rough. I get emotional on these too many times. Damn. That's hard. Yeah, it's like weird, all the similarities. I know. I'm sorry it made me upset. Yeah, maybe so, you know. A lot of this is just so raw, isn't it? Oh my God, over a girl. And that's the thing, when you're young like that, people tell you you don't know what love is, but you do. You do. You know, that's bullshit. It made me upset. Evelyn said they lost his husband's best friend to suicide. Yeah, I've lost several. We had this one friend, his wife went to work and she didn't even realize anything was going on. And she came home from work and he was like hanging from a tree in their backyard. That happened like maybe about 5 years ago. That was rough. It's always hard when people do that. See, See, I had one of my daughters, like when I went to prison, like right when I first got there, she told people at school she told one girl at school that she felt suicidal. So then the school called my husband, and I mean, he went up there and they made her get like this release, and they were showing him a list of books she was checking out from the library, and I mean, it was just like, yeah, it worries me. Oh, I love you too, Scott Baylo, my friend. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to watch your, when you suffered yourself with depression and then you can see your kids going through it, man, it's like going through it all over again. Lynn's is saying he was my daughter's favorite uncle. Dude, yeah, it's hard when people do that because I had an uncle that committed suicide when I was 12, and he just like, he blew his brains out, and I mean, they take away the body, but nobody cleans that up. I mean, unless you hire a service, and that it's rough. That was bad. And Lynn's saying he helped me pull through a suicide attempt the year before. Yeah, I think it's just like, all these emotions are just so hard, you know. That's why it's so troubling to see people that are emotionless in this world. These NPCs, I mean, like, Rain saying her friend's mom never recovered. Oh, my God. I couldn't imagine losing one of my kids like that. I don't know if I could get over it. I mean, I'd be like sleeping on their grave or something. I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, you can't blame yourself. I mean, a lot of times when people commit suicide, they just do it. Like, especially when they're serious, they just do the thing. They don't, there's really no warning. This way it was for my uncle. Like, nobody knew. I mean, it was just one day. Yeah, I don't think I would ever get over it. I don't know. But like if you have more than one kid, I mean you gotta keep going. You know. It's hard losing a child. I mean, I know that. It's hard when one of your kids dies, but you gotta keep living. It gets easier. You really do. You have to live for your other kids. I mean, they don't understand. I think for us, it made our daughter's childhoods like so special. We used to just sit there and watch them like television. They were like the best thing to us. We would just, they were all we did. Yeah, I had a really good friend who just had a miscarriage, like pretty far along though, and I mean it ruined their marriage. Like she could not get over it, but it was her first baby and everything. Abby. Crazy little dog. Ah, oh, that makes me sad. Crazy, all the synchronicities between me and Rain on the Plains. You have a 2-year-old? I know, right? Maybe we're the same person. Maybe we like see each other and we look the same. What would happen? I'm telling you, because everywhere I go, people are like, "Do I know you?" Or they call me by the wrong name, or they tell me they know me from somewhere. I'm just like, ugh. Sup, Andrew? Andrew's been at Chuck E. Cheese's tonight. He just got back. That was so funny. Good night, Jamie. Have a good night. I like to watch Andrew. I liked Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, whatever. I always knew it as Chuck E. Cheese's. She's the happiest 2-year-old. I know. I love them when they're little like that. They're so sweet. The little kids come in the store. Says wondering which one for you. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese's. I remember Chuck E. Cheese's where a kid can be a kid. That's the way I remember it. I don't remember. I've never heard Chuck E. Cheese, please. I'm sorry, Andrew. I never heard that one. But you know, like when our kids were little, like we didn't go to like places like Chuck E. Cheese. My husband felt like they were like baby casinos. He's like, I have enough problems with gambling. I'm not gonna like indoctrinate my kids to gamble. The painting over your toilet changed? Oh, Lord. I used to say Chuck E. Cheese a few years ago. See, what is it now? Is it Chuck E. Cheese or is it Chuck E. Cheese's? Because I remember it was Chuck E. Cheese's and then it changed to Chuck E. Cheese. And we were like, that's bullshit. It's not Chuck E. Cheese. Is it back? It's back again? Yeah, okay. So it's a flip-flop. So maybe we're, I don't know. I mean, oh, okay, so it changed again. Okay. See, because that's the way I remember it. And then I remember for a long time it was Chuck E. Cheese. Like in between probably from like 2014, I guess, until recently. So. Who is live streaming? Nobody. Oh, you know, Monday put a heart on my comment. Do y'all remember Mr. Gaddy's pizza place? And they used to have like puppets just like that, like the big animated puppets. All right. Well, yeah, if Wood is on, I guess I'll leave my stream. I don't subscribe to him. I can't watch him. I had a brother who was like a raging drug addict, and I just can't. I can't relive all that with him. I just can't. I like him, but I just can't do it. All right, guys. Well, I've cried enough. You've listened to me droll on and on. I love you guys. Especially you, Rain. You're probably like my sister. Maybe. He's always on. Showbiz Pizza. Yeah, we're sisters. Love you too, Scott Baylo. Andrew Eaton's like, don't go. Good night, Linz. Love you. Andrew, why don't you live stream again? Is Malaysia? Yeah, Malaysia's an island. Right? Isn't it right off the coast of Africa? Or is it not anymore? Negative? Oh, fuck. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go look that up. Yeah, Malaysia's a fucking island. That pisses me off. 122. Yeah, see, there you go. It's 12:22 for me. Why don't you live stream Andrew Eaton? All right, I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.